I remembered! Hello everybody and welcome back to Animal Crossing New Leaf. It's the fishing tourney! Don't know what kind of fishing tourney it's gonna be, but the fishing tourney kind. Letter from O'Hare. I kind of don't want to get rid of any for this, but I mean I could have just opened it and threw it away, but it's fine. This is just the way to do it so it stops beeping at me. O'Hare, what's up, man? Dear Steven, some hearts start thinking of you every time I listened to 2 days ago at home. Just came on before I realized I was writing this letter. Weird. I'm sorry, O'Hare. I don't feel the same, my man. Now if that had been a letter from like Pinky, then we'd be talking. So yeah, it's the fishing tourney. I will be talking about fishing tourney once I know what to talk about. We'll talk with Pinky. It's the fishing going. I've been biding my time and I'm ready to bust out and shine. Show everyone what I got. I'm a superstar fish catcher. I'm sure you are. Well, there's our gem rock. Just want to do the daily routine stuff. I want to know, I've seen a few people really hating on Pokemon Champions, and I don't get it. Like, one of the biggest criticisms I've seen from a competitive YouTuber I used to follow a lot, but I kind of fell off of watching. One of his biggest criticisms was, well, it was made by the same people who made Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl. Oh, you mean it was made by the people who gave the fans exactly what they've been asking for? Wow. Sounds like a bad developer then, I guess. I mean, like, literally, even during Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl, I don't remember that many people actually being all that hard on the game. Now, if they'd handed it to the Let's Go developers, you came to my house. What's going on? A chat. It's just me, or did you totally smell sponge cake in the air today? It was just me. I have really amazing sense of smell. I can smell sponge cake a mile away. You are a mouse. That makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. That you'd be able to smell things from really... You're a mouse. I'm gonna wait to hear what the fishing tourney is so I can keep all that straight. Paula! Is it going? Me? I'm just getting into it. I just know I'm gonna snag a big one for goo. It's very fair. Now, as I kind of made mention yesterday, like, I am thoroughly enjoying Champions. Like, it has reignited my passion for semi-competitive Pokemon battling. I can't say competitive, because I would never play doubles enough to actually play competitive Pokemon, but I can do semi-competitive. And like, yeah, I've got some complaints about Champions, but nothing to the point of like, basically going, yeah, it's a train wreck. It's like, it's not though. It's a good battle sim. It has bugs. Yes. Bugs are gonna happen. Bugs happen in the mainline games. Are we really gonna hold that against an offshoot game? Like, I don't think I'm going to. Like, people went into it fully expecting it to be things it was never even advertised as being. And like, the biggest complaint I've seen that I really don't understand is but there's no non-fully evolved Pokemon. It's like, okay. And? Come to my house, Steven. Would you like to talk about? Chat? And having some greenery in my house, so relaxing. I swear, you do got a tree. Like, the only Pokemon I can think of where that would actually be a major detriment for would be Porygon. And that's just because Porygon Z evolves from Porygon 2. And Porygon 2 was already a final evolution, and Eviolite Porygon 2 is pretty good. There's no Eviolite, so you'd still want Porygon Z in that instance. Without Eviolite, there is zero reason to use Porygon 2 over Porygon Z. And then they get into, oh, but, well, the items, okay. And with no non-final evolutions, we don't need Eviolite. So... you know, a lot of it is just self-defeating arguments, because it's like, well, we need this. It's like, yeah, but we only need that if you have something we don't have. You know, and expecting the game to be literally every Pokemon from release available for everybody just all the time, that's dumb. I don't know why anyone would have thought the game was going to be that. Like, I sure didn't. I thought it was going to be a way of battle. I didn't even think that we were going to be able to have that many Pokemon specifically on Champions. How did it be so late? Got to catch one more big one at the last second. I need to actually take part in the fishing tourney. It was like an hour to do it. Did you catch lots of fish today? Not to brag, but I have a feeling I'll be eating fish sandwiches all week. So you're not turning in your fish then? Like, you gotta turn them in. I guess Margie's in the lead. Doesn't feel like she needs to turn them in. Oh. Yawning. But like, I don't know. I feel like people just had way too high of expectations, and the people being like, "Oh, but there's only megas." It's like, yeah, but they've clearly indicated more is coming. Terras are probably coming pretty soon. In my home, Dumpling. It's just sitting around right up home by a cutting board. So, what can I do for you? Small chat. Since the town ordinance went into effect, the flowers in my yard seem much happier. It's all thanks to you, Mayor. You're a visionary leader. Like, and I say that because Terras were in the trailers. So Terras are almost certainly coming. We just don't have them yet. There's going to be another banner in June. That's not that long from now. We have the first banner, the first season, as probably mostly a proof of concept to basically see if people actually want what's being developed. Like, let's be real. The amount of money that they probably spent making Champions as it is was probably a lot more than your standard free-to-play game. Like, I've heard this a lot with Yu-Gi-Oh! Of people wanting, like, a full Yu-Gi-Oh! Sim with 3D models for every monster. It's, you do realize how expensive that would be, right? 3D models aren't cheap. Like, there is a Yu-Gi-Oh! Fan who is making their own fan game. That's gonna have 3D models for every monster. They're funding all of this themselves. They feel, and they're basically limiting themselves to like the first two sets because they really just can't afford to. I almost don't want to go see O'Hare because he was being a little weird with that letter. Like they just can't afford to do every monster. It's too expensive. They're already spending copious amounts of money. And they're doing this because it's a passion project. They're not trying to make money back. So, you know, if this was Konami doing it, they would have to make at least their money back. And again, 3D modeling is not cheap. The models in Champions, just visually looking at them, they don't look like the models from the other games. They are new models. Like, I can't say with absolute certainty they are. Maybe they just look a lot better in Champions than they do in the other games, but there's a fair few Pokemon that are in Champions that haven't been in a game since early Switch. Like, you know... And, like, everyone being like, oh, but they should have every fully evolved Pokemon. It's like, okay, but that would still be like 500 to 600-ish Pokemon. Can you imagine the struggle that it would be to actually pull anything you wanted from that size of banner? And I know the response there would just be, well, then don't have that system. It's like, okay, then how are they going to make money? Sell them to you? Do you want to pay $1 a Pokemon? I sure don't. You know, that's the alternative. I'm quite happy with what they have now. What they have now is scalable. You know, you may not be able to get the exact Pokemon you want all the time. But as long as you keep playing, they will probably update to eventually have everything, and you'll be able to get anything you want. Like, it's just going to take playing the game. But you know there's going to be people who started playing Champions, maybe even liked it, then saw a content creator crapping on it and were like, yeah, you know what, it is bad, and then stop playing, and then go back in like a year when, you know, everything they want is added, and then complain they can't get everything they want. Completely into a glorious spring, aren't we? Did you feel even better if you picked up new clothes? Nothing here is really speaking to me. I mean, the flannel kind of is. I'll grab the jade plaid, the flannel. I'll wear it out. Space helmet. I could go to space, be one with Space Core, but I think I'm good. But like, I'm calling it now. There's gonna be people who do that. And I'm probably gonna just laugh at them, if I'm honest. It's a bit mean, sure, but like, it's a free-to-play game. And they're expecting, you know, like, even the comparisons to Pokemon Stadium are unfair in the way that Stadium was a full-priced game. And when you really get down to it, Stadium was a full-priced game that if you wanted to actually have a chance of completing absolutely everything, you kinda needed another full-price game. Because you'd need your copy of Red, Blue, or Yellow to train and transfer Pokemon from. Also, this freaking little box is driving me insane still. Because, like, I'll move to get a drink, and then it'll slip off of the desk and get under the table, right by the arm of the chair, and then get stuck between them because there's not enough space for it to just pull up through. It's so annoying. Like, I love the little volume slider. It's pretty nice. Also, I really hope the game volume is fine today. It's just randomly lower when I was editing yesterday. I had to add like 4 instances of Vegas's volume increase at maximum to get the game audio to where it is in the video, which I think is actually a little too loud. But I'll take a little too loud over I literally could barely hear it at all in the recording. To me, it sounds fine. Like, I'm at like half volume here. Like, if I go to max volume, it's, you know, I have also now increased the volume. It was at 20%, now it's at 34? So what is the turnip price right now? 63. Almost a really good number. 64 is a pretty good number. But, yeah, like, I can't even be like, oh, well, I'm just super defending it because, like, nah, I'm gonna be completely honest. I do not think it's as good as Pokemon Showdown. Nor did I think it was going to be as good as Pokemon Showdown. That would be foolish to even assume that. Like, Pokemon Showdown has been a website for I think around 2 decades or more. With constant development, changes, improvements. Like, it's not going to be on that level right away. Give it a couple decades. It'll get there. Probably won't even take them that long, to be honest. Like, I'm pretty confident in saying that Champions will probably be around Showdown level within a year. That's my current guesstimate. Oh geez, gassy. And like, I'm guessing that just based on where it is now. Like, it is far from a bad game. It's going to be how Nintendo handles the VGC going forward. It is. Any fish will do. Alright. Tell me more, because I think... Okay. Do you got, like, the biggest fish? I mean, fish are delicious. Okay, you're not gonna tell me who's in first at the moment, so... Let's pop on down here to the beach. A sea bass might win it. Just outright. So... Gonna need to pay attention to the size of things I catch. Deep sea catches do not count because I don't know. It literally doesn't make sense to me why like deep sea catches don't also count. They are still seafood. Like I get otters do really like fish, but they also really like shellfish. So, you know. That's a bad cast. Okay, what do we got here? Okay, there's a bigger fish up there. So it could be a sea bass. Get a horse mackerel. Okay. 14.2. This looks like it's probably a sea bass. And it is! Alright. So 43.65 is currently the biggest. Let's see what else we might be able to find here. My goal is to hopefully get a low-ish number. I don't remember what trophy I'm missing. But I'm pretty sure I have first and either second or third, and I don't remember which it is. My memory is bad. Okay, another sea bass. 36.5. Oh no. I think this is the order. Because I think this was 4-5 and this is 5. That's what I want to say. Blah. I'm really bad at this. I'm not going to do like a huge amount of fishing. Especially where I did spend a good bit already of today just ranting. I should probably do more fishing, but we do also have the KK concert later to, you know, come back and care about. So... Ooh, red snapper. This is a new fish, so its size literally doesn't matter. Another horse mackerel. 14.4. That is bigger than the first one, I believe, so... Okay, let's go donate these to him, and then take the red snapper to the museum. And see where we're at. Yep, I'm okay with that. You just can't have the snapper. Watch this actually be like 15 inches, and it's actually bigger than the other one. 14.2. It's a new record. So I don't want to give him the sea bass then. I'll give him the other horse mackerel. Because I'm pretty sure it was slightly bigger. I think. No, it was 13 inches, wasn't it? I kind of wish you could just check them and see. That would be very convenient. Okay, 14.4. Yeah, new record. So he's not getting the sea basses. We'll see where my 14.4 sea bass, not sea bass, horse mackerel gets me by the end of this. Our villagers, well, my villagers are very bad at fishing, it seems. Okay. I do find it kind of funny, though, with champions, of just, like, you get so many people, and even a few, like, gaming news sites basically dooming about the game, yet in response to, outside of the content creator, like on all the news articles, the comments are just full of people being like, the frick are you talking about? And like, I'm expecting content creator audiences to agree with the content creator, because that's just how that stuff works. I really hope I foster a community here where you guys won't just blindly agree with me. Please think for yourselves and challenge me on things you think I'm wrong about. I want that. I don't want people to just blindly agree with me. Like, now, even on this, if you're also a Pokemon fan and you don't like Pokemon Champions, I would love to know why. Because I love it. I don't want to just hear people going, yeah, I love it too. Like, I mean, I'd be glad to hear that, but I don't want to just hear that, you know? I want people to come along and be like, yeah, I mean, it's not my cup of tea because X, Y, and Z. You know, you're not going to offend me. I will be quite glad to hear your criticisms of the game. Because maybe your issue is something I haven't even thought of or realized, you know? I say being in Ultra Ball rank, which I think is only halfway up the ladder, but still. You know, I've been playing at the ladder. Honestly, I spent a good bit of today just doing casual battles, because I needed to... for a weekly mission, I needed to use a ground type 5 times, and the only ground type I have is Stunfisk. And Stunfisk without an air balloon is pretty sad. Honestly, air balloon is an item that I could actually see being nice to have, but at the same time, it's not needed. And I kind of like the challenge of not just having all of the hold items that I would normally have access to. Me going to look for a rock to sit down on, but it's actually like end of this part, not the end of the episode. I'm gonna try for the later today bit I record to not just yap continuously more about Champions, though I'm probably gonna be playing it between now and then. I need to be back before 8 to get, I think it's before 8, right? To get the fishing tourney results. Animal. Ooh. Animal Crossing new leaf fishing tourney. Let's see. That is a horrible page. Okay, no. It's between 6 and 9, but it's 8 p.m. for the KK concert, so I need to come back at 8. That is what I need to do. So I'll see you guys back here at 8 o'clock, which will be like 2.5 hours for me. Simple jump cut for you guys, because you guys are just so lucky. Yeah, I told you, it was just a quick little jump cut for you guys, because you guys are so lucky and good looking, and I'm just over here being a goober. Like, this is just how it works. Alright. We do got the results of the fishing tourneys. Let's come see what those are. I also love how I ended yesterday being like, I'll definitely not talk a lot about things that aren't Animal Crossing tomorrow. Yeah, it didn't work out too well now, did it? So this little box, man, I got first. They couldn't beat a horse mackerel in an hour. Their place with a 3.5-inch bitterling is Peck. You're literally moving out tomorrow, man. Why did you even take part? You're only gonna catch something that small. I guess they decided they wanted to fish river, and I went to the ocean. So what was in first before I put anything in? They were both catching bitterlings. That explains so much. That explains so much. No, they were both very far. Literally the easiest to catch fish, I think, in the game. That is worth, like, the least. How? I'm disappointed in you two. Less so you, Barbara. Because, you know, maybe Barbara was, like, trying to get third. She just didn't want to excel. And, like, Peck was just so bad at fishing. He could only manage a single bitterling. But, like, where Chip doesn't tell you if you break the record, like, she didn't know. And she broke his record and was like, you know, surely whoever, you know, surely Peck will catch something bigger, and then I can have third. Or second. Maybe she was aiming for second this whole time. And then I came along with a horse mackerel and completely just stomped all of them, and now I feel a bit bad, even though I had no way of knowing what the previous record was. Also, expect the lighting to suddenly change at some point during this recording, maybe, if it goes long enough, because my TV auto turns off after like 10-15 minutes, and I cannot set it any faster, and if I turn it off manually, then I have to manually turn it back on. It's really annoying. Hey, Henry's in for the concert! Hey, man! Oh, what a coincidence. Came to Oracle today to do a little shopping. Fancy seeing you here. I think you came here to see KK. You back, Mac? Must be digging the cheers I'm bringing to your ears. So, here for a song? You know it? Cool. Taking requests, you got an itch for an old favorite. You can just belt out the name of the song, tell me how you're feeling. It's all cool with me. I want mood. Wow, cat, do it to me straight. How you feeling? I'm actually feeling pretty good. Cool. Got your vibe. Max is hot to play. Cop a seat. Pete. I'm gonna sit next to Henry. These chairs look so uncomfortable. KK Groove. I sure hope this is gonna be groovy, because it's KK Groove. I do like KK Groove. I do need to, like, redecorate my home at some point. But I'm very lazy. Also, I do want to give a small update, because I made mention, like, a while back that I started doing the Miku boxing stuff. I've actually lost almost 2 pounds since I started doing it, which is pretty cool. I've yet to find a good way to actually play it, because I do not have much space. And, like, the biggest space user in this room is my bed. which is partially why I've been so frustrated about the size of this freaking bed. It takes up like a sixth of the room on its own. Like, that's too much space being used by something that I don't even like or want. But I decided to try standing it up on its side. It takes up about a third of its normal space like that. It's great. Except Frisk decided that that's a new play space. And the mattress, being a queen-size mattress, is probably heavy enough to cause her serious bodily harm, if not worse, if it were to fall on her. I did not want her playing in the mattress and box spring. So that made what should have been a half-hour exercise into a almost hour-and-a-half one of me constantly having to stop to chase her away from the gap between the mattress and box spring. So that's not an option. Possibly standing it up against that wall with like something else blocking it to hold it flat against the wall would be an option, but that's a lot. I think what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna take my old desk out and try to find a solution for my lamp that works, and, you know, just move the chair into where the desk is and then push the stand where my TV is back against the wall. That should give me enough space, because the biggest problem is I'm not entirely sure how the gyro on the Switch 2 or Switch itself properly works. I know with the Wii, you had to basically, you know, it was the sensor bar was watching for you. So the lighting's about to change. It's like the sensor bar was kind of looking for the Wiimotes. I'm pretty sure the Switch 2 is looking for the Joy-Cons in relation to itself. So basically, the fact I was always at an angle to the Switch meant that sometimes, like, basically the weaving is the thing I was having problems with. Sometimes it just would not detect me actually doing the motions because I wasn't, you know, in line with the Switch. Congratulations! Must have reeled in a real whopper of a fish. Not surprised at all. Aw. It really wasn't, though. So, tonight, my solution was to basically, there's a pair of screws in the bottom of my my whiteboard that I can prop the stand of the Switch 2 on and then hang it off the wall, basically. I knew you'd do well today. I mean, you're so cool and everything. I just assumed you'd be good at fishing. Aww. So, yeah. And that did work. Because, I mean, for one, I was facing that wall, which means I was facing over the bed, which means I had all the room I could want for moving forward. I didn't have much space. You know, I had maybe about this much space from, you know, front to back as far as for my feet, but arms, I could reach forward, I could swing to the side and not hit the dresser. I was able to, you know, it works, but it's not ideal because I can't really see the incoming notes very well on the Switch 2 screen, a queen-size bed away from me. Like, this is the Switch 2, like, what, 4 or 5 feet away? Something like that? This bed is wide as heck. Like, it takes up so much space. I don't like it. I don't need this much space. I'm gonna be honest, and maybe this is a me thing. Like, the one time in my life that I've ever really been, like, laying in a bed with somebody else, we were both laying in the top, like, the top bunk size of a bunk bed. Because that was how me and one of my older brothers got our beds at one point, was a bunk bed was bought. We each got half of it in our own rooms. I had the top half. So I had the smaller half. We both fit comfortably on that. And I'm like, that's fine, but maybe that's a me thing. I do quite enjoy cuddling. So, like, I'm gonna like smaller bed, I suppose. Someone who doesn't much like care for it might actually like the larger bed where you've effectively got two beds sitting side by side. You know, I also just like smaller furniture because, like, like my table I'm using here. I could have just never started using this table and still be using the old desk I had. I could definitely, I could clean off that old desk and theoretically go back to using it. I wouldn't want to. The thing is, like, it's going to fall at some point. But I could do that. But it takes up more space than this table does, which is where my plan has always been to get rid of that desk. I need to just do it already. I know I'm just sitting on a rock while I'm yapping about this stuff, but hey, at least it's life stuff. Like, that desk in raw space on the floor takes up more space than this table does to give me the same functional space. Like, I still only have room for 2 monitors on that desk alongside my computer. The difference is here, I can have them all side by side easily, where with the desk, the monitors, well, because of how the back of the desk is set up, it's one monitor here, another one has to be like over here, and it's not lined up well because, this monitor would be further back, and then this one has to be further forward, and then the tower is like in a cutout I had to make because otherwise it wouldn't have worked. I could have put it in the little section underneath the desk, but that took away useful closed storage space that I wanted for things. And, even then, I didn't like the idea of putting my computer into a mostly enclosed wooden box where the heat would just generate up and, So, a regular desk is just not great. And they take up a lot of space. Like, that desk itself is like 9 feet long, something like that. 8, 9 feet. This table is like 4 by 4. It can extend. We have the extension here somewhere. I'm never going to use it. I don't need it. I don't want it. But yeah. I think that is going to be it for today. I think tonight I'm going to start working on cleaning off my desk and, like, taking it apart if I can and, like, dealing with it. So maybe then I'll be recording in the morning, but maybe I'll have started on it by the time I see you guys again. But yeah, with that, I thank you all very much for watching, and hopefully I shall see you back here tomorrow for more Animal Crossing New Leaf. See you all then.